Hey, it's me, MC of Healthy by George. I come to you every Sunday and Thursday. On Sundays, I talk about my weight loss journey with using a GLP-1 drug, Tirzepatide, and Thursdays, I talk about generally things that help us live longer and stay stronger.
Welcome to Healthy by George. I want you to know that this is for informational purposes only, and it should not be considered as medical advice, nor does it have anything related to my employer. So it's always best for you to check with your own medical provider before you do anything that I recommend or for any medical treatments. So please join me, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
I'm just going to talk a little bit about the GLP-1 drug that I'm on. It's called Tirzepatide. And typically there are these side effects that we all would like to avoid. And the key side effects are fatigue, nausea, acid reflux, and this kind of, I think, thinning of our face as we lose weight. And also, too, muscle loss, because that happens because we're probably, I don't know why. I have to look into that, why there's more muscle loss. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing probably in the next 2 weeks, and I'll share that here, is getting a DEXA scan that looks at your skeletal muscle, because that would be a great baseline to understand where I am, because I've been on the Tirzepatide now for over a year and 1 month, and I've done very well. I'm maybe about 5 or 10 pounds from my initial goal weight, not my final goal weight. So that's a really good thing. And I think understanding more and more about how to sustain the weight loss as we go forward is very interesting. One of the key things is to, first of all, combat the side effects if you have them. And that's what we're learning is through nutrition. Combating these side effects can really help through nutrition. And I work with a nutritionist every 3 months, which is really very helpful. And the key thing is getting enough protein, not easy, especially when your appetite is depressed. So really focusing on protein. So I have several choices, a protein shake or adding some kind of protein powder to like my oatmeal, or some of the other things that I make, such as mainly cereal, I think is where I add the protein powder. And then trying to get enough protein and then tracking it. So right now I'm averaging between 85 and 90 grams, which is way up from what it used to be, like 60 and 70. So I'm really focusing on that because I really would like to get closer to 100 grams, because they say you really need to have 1 to 1.2 grams for every kilogram of weight. That's your goal weight. So, that's still a lot of protein. The other thing that's a problem is fiber. Putting fiber into your diet, where they want you to have between 25 and 35 grams of fiber a day, again, is not so easy when you're someone who is lacking in appetite. You're not as hungry for fruits and vegetables, although I've been talking about snacks a lot and looking at how I can get small quantities of snacks that have high fiber and high protein. Some are good, some are not so good. I tried this Catalina Crunch. It did not agree with me. It was tasty, but man, talk about acid reflux. There's something in it. The ingredients are something that really did not agree with me. The hip peas are more digestible and delightful. They don't have as much protein as you'd like to have in a snack. So these chickpeas that I'm talking about, they're these roasted chickpeas. They have a higher amount of protein and fiber. So those might be a really nice snack. But again, it's a small portion, a quarter of a cup. So you really have to watch portions there, because it's 120 calories, I think. So that's another place. But the other thing where I think I'm a little less clear, and I'm going to talk to my doctor in the future, is the vitamins that you could be deficient on, which is the vitamin B12, vitamin D, calcium. Those are 3 key things that you need to make sure you're getting enough of those foods and nutrients so that we can reduce these side effects potentially and keep you in a healthy body weight and a healthy kind of just a wholesome overall improvement as you get older. So I've been looking at how much B12, but I think having it measured when I get my blood drawn this next time would be a useful thing. Plus, pay attention to my calcium levels. My vitamin D levels have been really good, but I take a vitamin D supplement, so that might be why it's helpful. But to talk about B12 and calcium, those are the key things I think we all struggle with. You can take a supplement. I think it's always not a bad idea to take a B12 supplement because we often are, if you're not eating enough foods, you often are low in B12. But you can get B12 from eggs. So I eat a good bit of eggs and salmon and tuna. And if you're a vegan or a vegetarian using nutritional yeast, and I'm exploring using nutritional yeast in some of my cooking, of course, calcium, to get enough calcium, you need to eat things that have calcium in them, which is milk products. Or you can explore things like dark leafy greens or tofu. And one thing that I really enjoy, which probably not too many people enjoy, are sardines. I love a good sardine, which is in olive oil or some RD. I can't help it. I love sardines on crackers or sometimes in the morning on toast with some greens or sprouts. Sardines are really the forgotten food, and they have high calcium, high B12. They're very rich in nutrients, so definitely omega-3s, definitely think about trying some sardines. Although I think sometimes they're not very appealing looking because like little tiny whole fish in a tin. But I do like sardines. So consider that. And when you visit with your doctor, I'm going to do that. I have a doctor's visit in the next week or so. I'm going to ask them to draw blood so that I can understand my B12, my vitamins D, and my calcium. And then when I get this DEXA scan, probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to share that as well, because knowing your skeletal muscle and what your muscle baseline measurements are, muscle to fat ratio, is very helpful. Because as we get older, we can lose somewhere between 2 and 4% of our muscles as we get older. And one of the things we must do as we get older is to fight against frailty. Frailty is the biggest one of as you get older with losing calcium or not eating enough nutrients. It really isn't easy to stay strong and do weightlifting and keep yourself functional as you get older. So I'm doing very well on this drug, and I look forward to how they're going to be using this drug in the future. I think I mentioned this the last time I was on last Sunday. They're developing some type of an injectable gel that it's in animal studies now where you'll only have to inject once a month instead of once every week. That seems very interesting. I think as I get closer and closer to my ultimate goal weight, the key is how to sustain this, how to maintain. And for me, I think what you don't track, you can't change. So I'm tracking everything. I want to know. I want to know, even though sometimes it's hard to get on the scale and weigh yourself, it still is very good information. And you just figure out, don't judge yourself. Why judge? Just know it as information that you're taking in, and it's going to help you make choices as you go through your day. So be well, my friends. We have this one precious life. And join me here every Thursday and Sunday. Click subscribe. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. Like any of your episodes that you like, or ring the bell. Take well, stay safe. We have a lot of challenging things going on in this world and in this country. Be well.
So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.